Oreo, Private Detective. Chapter 1. A Mystery Begins. It was a dark and stormy night in Whisker City, and the rain fell in heavy sheets, pattering against the window of Oreo's office. Oreo, a tuxedo cat with sharp eyes and an even sharper wit, sat in his high-backed chair, his tail flicking lazily behind him. The office was small but cozy, with the desk cluttered with papers, an old lamp, and a magnifying glass. Standard gear for a private detective. He was about to call it a night when the door creaked open, and a small orange tabby named Beezy stumbled in, soaking wet and looking frantic. "Oreo, you've got to help me," Beezy pleaded, shaking droplets from its fur. "The Catnip Festival is tomorrow, and..." His voice trembled. Oreo raised an eyebrow. "Take a deep breath, Beezy. What's the problem?" Beezy took a deep breath, but his words still tumbled out like they were in a race. "The catnip shipment! It's gone! Stolen! And the whole festival depends on it!" Oreo's whiskers twitched with interest. The Catnip Festival was a big deal in Whisker City, and losing the catnip would be catastrophe. "Who would want to steal the catnip?" Oreo asked, leaning forward in his chair. I don't know," Beezy stammered, his paws ringing nervously. "But if we don't find it by tomorrow, the festival is ruined. Can you help?" Oreo nodded, his mind already working out the puzzle. "I'll take the case, but first we need to gather some clues." Chapter 2. The First Clue. Oreo grabbed his trench coat and fedora, his detective gear, and stepped out into the rain-soaked streets of Whisker City. Beezy followed closely, his eyes wide with worry. The first stop was the warehouse where the catnip had been stored. As they approached, Oreo noticed something strange. Paw prints in the mud. But they weren't just any paw prints. These were larger than most cats' paws, and they led away from the warehouse. Oreo crouched down, inspecting the prints closely. "Looks like we're dealing with a big cat," he murmured. Beezy gulped. "Like a tiger?" Oreo shook his head. "Not that big, but someone with strong paws, that's for sure." They entered the warehouse, and Oreo's sharp eyes quickly spotted something out of place. There, near the corner, was a piece of fabric, bright red, sticking out from behind a crate. What's this?" Oreo said, pulling out the fabric. It was part of a scarf, and only one cat in Whisker City was known for wearing a red scarf. Ginger, the smooth-talking alley cat, who was always up to no good. Oreo's eyes narrowed. "I think we need to have a little chat with Ginger." Chapter 3. A Furry Suspect. Oreo and Beezy made their way to the back alleys where Ginger liked to hang out. The narrow streets were dimly lit, but Oreo knew the city like the back of his paw. It didn't take long to find Ginger, lounging on a pile of crates, cleaning his whiskers as though he didn't have a care in the world. Well, if it isn't Oreo, the famous detective," Ginger said with a smirk. "To what do I owe the pleasure?" Oreo held up the red scarf. "You lost something, Ginger?" Ginger's eyes flickered, but he quickly regained his calm. Yes, I seem to have misplaced that. I didn't think it was a crime to lose a scarf." "It's not," Oreo said coolly, "but it was found at the scene of a theft." Ginger yawned, stretching out his paws. "Theft? Oh, you must be talking about the catnip shipment. Look, Oreo, I didn't take it. Sure, I was near the warehouse, but I wasn't there for the catnip. I was meeting someone." "Who?" Oreo demanded. Ginger hesitated, then finally answered. "Shadow, the black cat who runs the underground cheese trade. He's been acting suspicious lately. If you ask me, he's your real thief." Oreo's tail twitched. Ginger wasn't known for being honest, but if Shadow was involved, things could get serious. Chapter 4, A Shadow in the Night. Later that evening, Oreo and Beezy sneaked into the heart of the city where Shadow ran his operations. The alleys grew darker, and the air was thick with the smell of fish from the nearby docks. Shadow was known to be a master of disguise, but Oreo was confident he could sniff him out. As they approached a small run-down warehouse, Oreo's ears perked up. There was movement inside. He motioned for Beezy to stay quiet as they crept closer. Inside the warehouse, they spotted Shadow, slender and sleek, with fur as black as the night itself. He was pacing back and forth, muttering to himself, "I should have known Ginger would double-cross me," Shadow growled softly. Oreo's ears pricked up. Double-cross? That sounded like a clue. Before Shadow could notice them, Oreo stepped into the light. "Looking for something, Shadow?" Shadow froze, his yellow eyes narrowing. "Oreo, I should have known you'd come poking around." "Cut the game, Shadow," Oreo said, stepping closer. "Where's the catnip?" Shadow hesitated, his tail lashing nervously. "I didn't steal it. It was Ginger's idea. He set me up. He told me the shipment was just some regular herbs. I didn't know it was for the festival." Oreo stared at him, his keen eyes searching for the truth. Shadow might have been involved, but Oreo's instincts told him there was more to the story. Chapter 5, The Real Mastermind. Oreo and Beezy hurried back to Ginger's hideout, determined to get to the bottom of the mystery. When they arrived, Ginger was gone, but there, hidden behind some crates, was the missing catnip. "I knew it," Oreo muttered, shaking his head. Ginger was trying to frame Shadow all along. He wanted to steal the catnip and sell it at the festival for a huge profit. Beezy looked shocked. "But how could he do that to everyone? The festival's supposed to be fun." "Some cats only care about themselves," Oreo said grimly. "But not to worry. We'll return the catnip, and Ginger will get what's coming to him." Chapter 6, A Festival Saved. The next day, Oreo and Beezy returned the stolen catnip just in time for the festival. The whole city cheered for the clever detective who had saved the day. "Thanks, Oreo," Beezy said, his eyes shining with gratitude. Oreo gave a rare smile. "Just doing my job." As the music played and cats danced and rolled in the freshly delivered catnip, Oreo watched from the shadows, his detective's heart satisfied. There would always be more mysteries to solve, but for now, he could enjoy the peace. At last, until the next case came along.